Hey everybody. I just want to take a little bit of time this evening and make sure that I reflected on what has happened over the past few days. Um, so, just to recap, a couple of days ago, I got a letter from my birth mother sharing with me that she was choosing to stop the communication she was having with me. Up until that point, we had been writing letters to each other, which were getting translated for us for about 7 years. And in my last letter to her, I had suggested that I had finally figured out a way for us to see each other and talk to each other because of the wonderful creation of technology and having the ability to video chat. And I had found a friend who was willing to translate in real time for us. Um, and I think that, you know, might have really scared her. I'm never going to know exactly all of the things that she's been thinking. She shared a few of those thoughts with me about her worries and her anxiety around her circumstances, and that, it was just a burden and a stressor that she was drawing a line in the sand and respecting her own boundaries, her own needs at this time. So a few days ago, I recorded a video where I had literally just found out. I had just read the letter, and I know a number of my soul sibling tribe, that I like to call them, who I texted throughout the day and just let them know I could use some love and light that day just to help me process and get through this however I was supposed to. And they've been now checking in with me a few days later and asking how I'm doing. So I figured I would just record a quick video about how I'm doing. Um, I'm actually doing really, really well. And for the first time in my entire life, I faced loss and I grieved and mourned in the moment when it actually was happening. I used to tell people that I was really good at transitions. I was really good at leaving my friends, at saying goodbye to people when they passed away. I never felt anything. So I thought that was being good at that stuff because I could just move on really quickly. And then as I got older, I realized that's not really doing it well. And I wanted to be able to grieve more healthfully. So this letter gave me a perfect opportunity to really see how far I had come with all the work I've been doing for myself. And it was about a whole day of crying every time I tried to open my mouth and tell someone what happened or even texted it to someone. It was just waves of emotion that, again, what was really unique about it was that I was crying for the first time in my life where it wasn't coming from a place of anger or frustration. Usually when I would get so worked up and would cry hysterically and really ugly cry like that, it would be because I was angry at someone or I was feeling very hurt or betrayed or misunderstood, or there's a huge disconnect. And this felt so different. This was just pure sadness. There was no anger. It was all love. It was all respect. I really do understand why she made the choice she made, and I appreciate her being strong enough as a woman to draw a very, very difficult boundary. Boundaries are so important in our lives, and I've learned that over the past few years, that it's so important to advocate for what you need and to cut people off and to be able to say, this is how much I'm capable of doing right now, and I can't do any more. And that's what she did, and that I totally lovingly respect that. But I still felt sad. I still felt this loss. I still felt a lot of emotions. So I cried on and off like all day long. I had this huge headache because I was crying so much. But even during that, I knew this was actually happening for me. I knew this was happening because I had requested this to happen. My soul had wanted this to happen as a means to an end, meaning that it is pushing me closer and closer towards the evolution and towards the growth and towards the understanding that I want, that I have been looking for and asking for. This is just another piece to that journey and that puzzle for me to really understand love and really understand my role in this lifetime. And this is something I had to get. This is a piece that I had to work through and heal and actually prove to myself how far I have come because of how I responded to it so naturally, so differently than I'd responded to endings in my life at any other time in the past. Really what I felt during this and my takeaway, what I've concluded for myself in the situation, is that she gave me this tremendous gift in walking away from me. And the gift is that I finally actually got to be able to grieve the loss that I felt when I was an infant, when I didn't understand what was happening, when I couldn't comprehend or make sense of being taken from the woman who just carried me in her body for 9 months and was separated. And when I was separated again from the social workers, and I was separated again from the nurses, and I was separated again multiple times, even before I came to my life family. So I was given this chance as an adult, a sentient, thinking, spiritual, curious adult, a chance to actually go through this process and close that door and heal that wound and make sense of this loss. I got so many gifts that I'll share more and more in other videos, or maybe I've, probably covered some already, from her walking back into my life or from us reconnecting, and for her saying yes to having a relationship for 7 years, and for giving me answers to tremendously painful and difficult questions that I had to ask her for my own healing. She gave me so many gifts by saying yes. She is also giving me this amazing gift by walking back out, by leaving for the second time. She gave me a chance to actually mourn the loss that I felt as a baby. That's one of the biggest takeaways. I am so indebted for her bravery again to walk out and to know that it was actually in the best interest for her, her family, and for me, that she did that for me. And I truly, truly, truly believe that 100%. I know a number of people maybe are thinking, if I was in that situation, or maybe you've been in a situation where, whether it's a birth parent or it's another person in your life who walked out twice, and you processed and observed it differently, are probably thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way I could feel the same way she feels. Or I wish I could feel the same way she feels. I trust that everything is happening for me, even the painful stuff. Our soul, what I believe is our soul chooses our journey, and it doesn't have this privilege of choosing our journey so that we can prevent pain. We get a privilege of choosing our journey, so we get to pick which pain we end up experiencing in order to teach us, in order to heal us, in order to get us to become who we are. We actually, I think, have predetermined which pains we're going to experience, because it's all part of this conspiring to give us what we're looking for. And I know, and I trust this, because literally the day before I got the letter, I was feeling so unraveled about a few things in my life. And I was really, I decided to reconnect again and just start talking to my higher self, talking to spirit, talking to God, whatever you relate to. I relate to all of it. I still use all of those words because they all make sense to me in different ways. So I was talking to all of that. And I was asking again, what is my next step to understanding love? I was feeling a lack of love in another area of my life. And I wanted to figure out, what am I supposed to do with this? Why is this here? What is this supposed to teach me? And then this letter came in literally overnight and showed me a whole new level of what love is. And it showed me that I have actually grown to the place where I can unconditionally love someone who is, on the surface, it seems like doing a horrible betrayal by walking out again. That I really genuinely have no negative feelings about it. I was sad. I think that part of me still is just sad, but that's different. Sadness is so different than being angry or being misunderstood or being frustrated. Like, there's no frustration. It just is what it is. I ended up doing the cord cutting exercise. It's a meditation to help release the bond or the tie, the spiritual connection between her and myself. I did that right after I videotaped the last recording. Sometimes when I do things like that, I feel this earth-shattering response. This time I just felt like very peaceful and calm. I felt even more peace and calm and not connected to her own emotional turmoil. I also think that my crying the day of was actually picking up a lot on her. It almost felt as if I was crying for her because she couldn't cry. It didn't even feel like they were my tears to be had, but I had to do them for us. So the cord cutting spiritual meditation was really cool. I am looking forward to being able to utilize that tool even in people who are still in my life right now, who are probably pulling energy from me, or I'm pulling negative energy from them, whichever way, and releasing them. So I'm looking forward to using that tool even when it's not catastrophic, even when it's not so monumental as having a birth parent step back out of your life after you've known them for 7 years. So I just want to take a little bit of time and share those thoughts and remind you to just be kind to yourself through any grieving process. I had a number of reactions when I told some of my friends about what happened. I basically texted them and said, my birth mother broke up with me. That's the easiest way I can tell you over text what just happened. And I had one of two responses. I had, oh my gosh, I'm here for you. If you need to call or talk or, nothing at all, like, that's fine. Sending you lots of light and love. And then I had the other response, which was, oh my gosh, do you need me to bring you wine? Do you need to go on an adventure and forget about it? Do you need to why don't you just binge on some food or go get a pint of Ben and Jerry's? And, so on one hand, I have a group of people in my life currently who are really supporting what I view as my higher self, which is the self that allows you to feel, allows you to not be afraid of feeling and doesn't want to avoid feeling. That they're just I'm here, right? Whatever it is you need, I'm here. And then I have people who represent very much my lower or my previous self, even just a few days ago self, right? Who, anytime I come up against any insecurity or discomfort, I will usually, to some degree, I had in the past reached for food or wine or coffee or Netflix. I'll just binge watch on something, or I'll be oh, I need a project. Let's plan the next vacation. I'll distract. So food, alcohol, and distraction were my three go-tos. And I never did any of them to a big extreme. I never, for me, wine would be one glass. And for me, food would look like maybe like going and getting a burger and fries. Like I never did it out of moderation. That still doesn't mean I wasn't using those things as numbing tools. And so I felt my way through this process this time. And what felt right was to not numb. I was tired of numbing. I was tired of avoiding it. And so I almost didn't even eat the whole day. Like I tried to. I like brought like a bag of Reese's peanut butter cups like up to my room with me, like thinking, oh my God, I'm going to like plow through this bag, like just to kind of get like like a high for a little bit. And like, I just couldn't even do it. I was like, so like uninterested in it. So yeah, I think it gave me a chance to really see, where other people in their place without judgment. I loved the feedback and what people did to support me. And I was so appreciative. I even have people that would write back to me and check in with me. It just showed me, wow, I have actually changed. I have changed from going to those things to numb myself, from dealing with difficult feelings to like embracing it head on and actually just wanting to be alone and wanting to reflect and deal with whatever came up. So that's it. That's my little debriefing of, how I've been feeling since getting the letter from my birth mother. And I'm actually really excited. I feel like there is a cord or a connection that's been broken that is freeing me to be able to get on to the next phase of my life. And I can't wait to see what phase that is and how this part of my story propels me into connecting with more people who maybe otherwise would not have felt connected to me. So I hope everyone has a great day, and I will talk to you all again soon.